Hello and welcome once again to Storytime with Grandpa Elroy. Thank you to all our returning fans and welcome to our new friends. For our new friends, I'll tell a little about myself. I'm the official storyteller and keeper of secrets at the North Pole, and I'm an elf. Today, I'm going to tell you the true lore of Christmas. Me and Santa Claus thought it was time everyone knew the truth. Well, to start, about half of what you know about Christmas is wrong.
Forget everything you thought you knew about Santa's sleigh. The classic image is just a cover for the truth. Santa's ride is a giant blue hippo named Vixen. On Vixen's neck rests a single red bell on a white gold chain, intricately engraved with magical runes. This is no ordinary accessory. It's the source of their power, forged by Santa and his chief elf, Valgar. Each rune holds a specific enchantment. With one spell, Vixen soars through the winter sky. Another grants them invisibility, leaving only the bell's faint shimmer. They can bend time to visit every home and move in perfect silence thanks to a sound-dampening charm. So this Christmas Eve, if you see a hippo-shaped shadow in the sky, you'll know the real secret. Now the legend can finally be told.
The blizzard howled, burying the world in a shroud of white. Within the skeletal remains of a failed zoo, two massive blue hippos. Their strength fading, formed a living shield around their tiny calf, Vixen. The storm raged, a relentless assault on the small family, but their love was a fortress against the cold. Days later, the fury of the storm had passed, leaving behind a silent, sparkling landscape. Santa Claus, on a solitary walk, discovered the still forms in the snow. His heart ached as he saw the parents, lifeless, but a flicker of movement caught his eye. The tiny calf, Vixen, was alive. Gently, he lifted her into his arms. Inside Santa's workshop, the warmth of a crackling fire welcomed them. Helen, the kindest of elves and a friend to all creatures, was waiting. She tenderly cleaned the shivering calf with a warm cloth. Vixen, feeling safe for the first time, looked up at Helen with enormous, trusting eyes. As Vixen grew, her playful spirit filled the workshop with joy. One day, she nuzzled against Helen, who was sketching new designs for the holiday. In that moment of shared affection between elf and hippo, an idea sparked. Wreaths shaped like a hippo's smile, bells like their round bodies. The original idea for Christmas decorations was born.
Gather round for a heartwarming story from the snowy lands of northern Norway. One day, Helen, the elf saint of animals, and her father Valgar, the noble leader of the last elf tribe, were visiting with their dear friends, Santa Claus and the giant blue hippo, Vixen. Times were tough for the 30 tiny villagers nestled in the frosty landscape. Seeing this, Helen and Vixen had a wonderful idea. What if they could give free toys to all the children in the area, just to bring a little hope and joy back into their lives? A single tear rolled down Santa's cheek as he heard their plan and immediately agreed. Valgar, ever the proud elf leader, puffed out his chest and boasted that his tribe of skilled artisans could craft all the needed toys in mere minutes. It was a beautiful moment, a promise of light in the darkest of times. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more tailies. Hey, did you know that Santa Claus wasn't always his name? For a long, long time, he was an ancient, immortal human, and people who met him had all sorts of names for him. Some called him Odin, others, who thought they knew him better, called him Darkstar. But honestly, no one really knows his true name except for the big guy himself. The name Santa Claus actually came much later. It was given to him by Valgar, the leader of the last tribe of elves. This happened during a really important time when Santa was going through a huge spiritual change, figuring out who he truly was at his core. Valgar was there to help him. And get this, Mrs. Claus, whose name is Jessica, is actually an elf. Not just any elf. Either sees the aunt of Valgar, Santa's best friend. Pretty cool, right? Thanks for watching. Well, hello there, folks. Your old pal, Grandpa Elroy here, the storyteller and keeper of secrets at the North Pole. Let me tell you a little something about my home. Nowadays, it's hidden away, safe inside a magic snow globe. But it wasn't always like that. The original North Pole was a bustling place where all sorts of magical beings came together. Goblins, elves, dwarves, even ogres. We all built a giant snow village. We had houses made of snow, filled with snow people, snow elves, snow orcs, and snow goblins. There were snowmen, snow dogs, and even a giant snow dragon with its own cave made of, you guessed it, snow. It was a true winter wonderland. Over time, most of the creatures moved on, leaving just one special resident behind, a little albino pixie named Tulip. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to come back for more stories. In a land deep in the frozen north, a great snow city was built, a beacon of unity for elves, dwarves, giants, and goblins. But as seasons turned, they all departed, leaving the city silent and empty, all except one, Tulip, a tiny albino pixie with a heart full of dreams. She wandered the deserted streets, loneliness her only companion. To comfort herself, she began telling stories to the forgotten snowmen left behind, giving them names, families, and grand adventures. One evening, exhausted from her storytelling, she fell into a deep sleep. As she dreamt, her powerful pixie magic flowed outwards, weaving through the silent city. When she awoke, the most incredible thing had happened. Every snowman was alive, bustling with the life she had imagined for them. Her magic had not only animated the snow people, but had also encased the entire city in a protective sphere, creating the world's very first snow globe. Years had passed since they last saw their friend Tulip. Driven by a longing they could no longer ignore, a small group of pixies traveled back to the northern snowlands, to the very spot they had last seen her. They remembered a bustling snow village, a place they had built together, full of laughter and light. But as they arrived, their hearts sank. There was nothing. The entire village was gone, vanished without a trace, leaving only an endless expanse of white snow stretching to the horizon. All that remained was a single, solitary tree standing where the town center used to be. Drawn by a strange curiosity, they fluttered closer. Hanging from a branch was an object unlike anything they'd ever seen, a glass sphere with tiny white flakes swirling inside. They decided to call it a snow globe. As they stared into its depths, they'd sometimes catch a fleeting glimpse, a flicker of movement, and swear they could see their dear friend Tulip forever dancing in the falling snow. Have you ever heard of Krampus? You know, that scary Christmas demon. Well, let me tell you, the real story is not what you think, and there's nothing to be afraid of. It all started with a snow owl named Rose, a blue hippo named Vixen, and an elf named Helen. They decided to go to a small village party. Helen dressed up as a saint. Vixen put on a reindeer costume, and Rose, she went as a butler named Krampus. They were having a fantastic time at the party, but late that night, a tipsy villager accidentally stepped on Rose the owl. She flew up suddenly, which completely freaked out the man, and he fainted on the spot. When he woke up, his kids were gone. He searched for 2 days, only to find them safe and sound at his sister's house in the next town over. And that, my friends, is how the totally false rumors of a scary Krampus and a red-nosed reindeer got started. Crazy, right? Thanks for watching. Have you ever wondered about Santa's elves? Where did they really come from? The story is far more ancient and cosmic than you might imagine. They are the last of their kind on Earth, survivors of a galactic war that tore their civilization apart. They are the Dark Star Elves. a small tribe who believed in the power of magic and a creator deity known as the Dark Star. Long before humanity, they journeyed across the cosmos to our young planet, seeking this powerful creator. Their own world was lost in a bitter conflict against their kin, the Star Elves, who put their faith in science over magic. While their brethren fought, this small band of peace seekers embarked on a desperate quest. They hoped the Dark Star could end the war that ravaged galaxies. Their arrival on Earth wasn't an accident. It was a pilgrimage for peace, a final hope for a fractured people. Well, my friends, Grandpa Elroy, the elf here, official storyteller and keeper of secrets at the North Pole. Now you know the true story of Christmas. You know about Santa Claus, the immortal human, and his wonderful wife, Jessica, who is an elf. We've talked about the very first Christmas tree and the first snow globe. You've heard the tale of the blue hippo with her magical red bell that helps pull Santa's sleigh, and about the Christmas presents we elves make with so much love, and of course, Rose the snow owl, whose story got all twisted into that scary Krampus tale. I'm so glad you joined me for another one of my stories. May the blessings of the Dark Star and the Great Mother Tree be with you and your family. Merry Christmas, my friends. Until next time, peace be with you.